a new lesson, lesson 5, plants around us. And for that, I want you all to take out your green circle book and then we shall proceed further with the lesson. So the heading of lesson number 5 is plant around us. And from the very heading, we get a brief idea that today we are going to discuss about plants and its features. Now you might have a question, ma'am, what is plant? Before I answer this question, let us recall something. Whenever we look around us, near our surrounding, or you can say when we step outside the house, what do we see? We can see plants everywhere, right from trees to shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. All kinds of plants are found near our surrounding. So plant is a living organism that has stem, roots and leaves. So what is plant? Plant is a living organism that has stems, roots and leaves. Now proceeding further, we are going to read about grouping of plants. Before we dive into this topic, let us get this thing very clear. Grouping of plant entirely depends upon the size and the stem that particular plant has. There are 5 grouping of plants starting from tree, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. We are going to discuss all this grouping of plants one by one and we will find out how it is different from the other one. Starting from tree, as you can see in the picture, this is a tree. Tree is very big and tall. So the first point, the feature of tree is they are very big and tall plants. They have a thick brown and a woody stem which is called trunk. They have many branches. Tree, they live for many years. The example of tree are banyan tree, neem tree, mango tree, etc. Next we will talk about shrub. As you can see in the picture, shrubs are small bushy plants. When we compare the picture of tree with shrubs, do we find any kind of similarity? No. Right from the size to the stem, everything differs from the tree. Hence, shrub is another grouping of plant. They are small bushy plants as we see in the picture and they have a brown stems with branches directly arising from the base of the stem. They live for many years and the example of shrubs are China rose, cotton, bougainvillea, etc. Moving further, we are going to discuss about herbs. But before we dive into the topic, let us start with an example. Have you seen your mother cooking in the kitchen and using coriander leaf, which we call in Hindi as dhania patta, to garnish her dishes or to garnish her sabzis? Yes? How does the coriander leaf look like, children? It is soft, it is thin and it is green in color. The stems of the coriander leaves are green in color. Yes, this is exactly how herbs look like. This is exactly the features of herbs. As you can see the picture of herbs, the herbs have soft and a thin green stems. They live for many months and the example of herbs are coriander, mint, brinjal plant, etc. And for the fact there are many herbs that possess medicinal property. For example, tulsi, which is used to cure our sore throat. And there are many other examples. Moving forward, we are going to discuss about climbers. Now let's have a look into the picture of climber. This is the picture of climber, my dear student. What we can see in the picture, the plant is taking some kind of support. It is taking a support of a wall and it is climbing up on the wall, right? So this is the feature of climber plants. Climber plants, they always take a support of a structure or the other plant and they keep on climbing. This is their main feature. The very word climber itself states that this is a plant that climbs. Listen to the word properly. Climber. So the word climb, it means to climb up, right? So in the same way, we can get an idea that all the plants named as climbers, they take a support of some or the other structure or the other plant and they keep on climbing, and that is how they grow. The example of climber plants are money plants, pea, beans and etc. Moving forward, we are going to discuss about creepers. From From the very word creep, what do we understand? It moves along the ground. When we look into the picture, we might feel that the creeper and climber plants are same, but they are not same. How we can differentiate? Climber moves horizontally, whereas creeper moves vertically. The example of creeper plants are watermelon, pumpkin, etc. So here we have ended the grouping of plants. There are 5 grouping of plants: tree, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. And each grouping of plants are different from each other. All their features and the characteristics are different from each other. Proceeding further, we will discuss about green plants and non-green plants. Green plants are the one which has all the features of plant. For example, roots, stem, leaf. Green plants are the plants which consist of chlorophyll, which makes them green. Also, it helps the plant to prepare the food. The process of preparing food is known as photosynthesis. Now coming to non-green plants. Non-green plants are the one who does not have all the features of plant. For example, stem, leaf, roots, etc. The example of non-green plants are mushroom. In mushroom we do not find leaves, we do not find green color substance. For that reason, mushroom cannot make their own food. Although ferns and algae do not have regular parts of the plant, yet they can make their own food as they are green in color, and we all know that green plants are capable of making their own food. Moving to the next topic, we will discuss about habitat. Habitat is a place where plants live and grow. Different plants grow in a different area. For example, certain plants they grow on land, hence they are called terrestrial plants, whereas certain plants they grow on water, hence they are called aquatic plants. The other name of the plant that grows on land is terrestrial plant, and the other name of the plant that grows on water is aquatic plant. Let us start with terrestrial plant. Terrestrial plants are the one that grows on land, and in land it includes mountain, deserts, plain, etc. Now the trees that grow on land also have different features. The tree that grows on mountain, they are conical in shape so that all the water, rain and the snow can get slide off from the tree very easily, whereas the plants that grow on desert, they have different characteristics. The plants that grow on desert have a green fleshy stem with their leaves reduced into spines to prevent the water loss. The example of the plant that grows on desert is cactus. We all are very much aware that cactus is a plant that grows on desert as it has a thick green stem and its leaves are reduced to spine so that it can retain the water and prevent the water loss. Next we are going to discuss about plants that grow on water. They are also called as aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are found in ponds, lakes, ocean. The example of aquatic plants are lotus, seaweed, etc. Moving further, we are going to discuss about our dependence on plant. We as a living being are completely dependent upon plant. All the foods that we get on our table is derived from plant. For example, rice, cereals, spices, all these items are derived from plants. I would request all of you to open page number 34 and refer to it. Whether it be spices, oil, rice, vegetable, everything is derived from plant. Hence, we as a human being and a living organism, we are entirely dependent upon plant. Moving further, we are going to discuss about the things that we get from plant. We will start with fiber. Fiber is the raw material that we receive from plant. For example, we receive cotton out of cotton plant. This fiber is used to make fabric. Whenever we go to market and we want to stitch a shirt or a blazer, what do we look? We look for a good quality fabric. You select a fabric and you make a shirt or a t-shirt out of it. It is a cloth. So what was the first thing that we derived from plant? We derived fiber. From fiber we made fabric, and fabric was used to make clothes. Next item that we receive from plant is we get the wood from the trunk of the tree. It is used to make furniture, example, sofa, bed, etc. Wood is also used as a fuel to cook in the kitchen in the villages. Next item that we receive from plant is paper. Paper is made out of pulp of bamboo trees and other grasses. We use paper for writing in the copy. We use paper in the book to print the text. We use paper to make paper bags, which is very eco-friendly, and we all should opt for paper bag because plastic is a non-biodegradable product and it takes ages and ages to mix into the soil and eventually it harms the soil. Non-biodegradable are the waste which are harmful for the nature and it does not get easily mixed in the soil. Hence, we should ban the use of plastic and we should opt for paper bags, which is very eco-friendly and convenient. Next, we are going to discuss about perfume. There are certain flower plants like rose and jasmine. The essence of rose and jasmine are used to make the natural floral scents, or you can say the natural floral perfumes. And when do we use perfume? We use perfume to smell good, to feel good whenever we're going out. Next item that we receive from plant is rubber is obtained from the latex of rubber tree. The rubber are used to make tires, the erasers which you use. Next we are going to discuss about hair dye and palm painting. The very word hair dye means hair coloring and palm painting means the design which is made on the palms of your hand. There are two types of hair dye, natural hair dye and the other one is chemical based hair dye. The natural hair dye is made out of henna, the same material of the product which is used for palm painting. Green plant gives us oxygen which we as a human being and all the other living organism needs it because it is essential for us to stay alive. Green plant also clears the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and gives us fresh oxygen and makes the environment clean. Green plants also controls the rainfall of the place. They regulate the rainfall of the place. You might have seen an area that covers plenty of green plants. Those area receives plenty of rainfalls, whereas the area where there is a lack of green plants, they receive no or a very little rainfall. For example, you might have heard about Amazon forest or take into account any forest that has green plants. It will receive plenty of rainfall because it has green plants all around. Now, see the example of desert. Why the area is deserted? The area is deserted because deserts do have green plants, but the number of green plants in deserts are less. So for that reason, desert receives no rainfall. Hence, plants provides us something very important which is essential for us to stay alive, and it also regulates the rainfall of the place. Coming to the last topic, that is the new plants. But before we start this topic, I want to ask you a question. In the earlier days, did we hear of the diseases like diabetes, kidney failure, heart disease? We didn't, right? Because that was a completely different era. At that point of time, there was no adulteration. But now, the people, they have suffered a lot of problems. In the same way, earlier time, your grandparents or parents, they did not enjoy certain fruits which we are blessed to enjoy. It is due to the new technologies that these new fruits are easily available in the market are kiwi, tangerine, strawberries, etc. As we have come to the end of the chapter, in this chapter we understood that plant is very essential for us. It is important for us. It is the plant that gives us the essential thing, that is oxygen. We require oxygen to breathe. We require oxygen to stay alive. They provide us with oxygen. We require food. They provide us with food as well. They provide us all kind of food, cereals, oils. We are completely dependent on nature. Hence, to decrease the pollution, to make our environment clean, to make sure that our area receives lot of rainfall. for all those things, we require to plant a tree. So let us take a pledge that on every birthday we are going to plant one tree on our garden or anywhere possible, which in return will provide you with the oxygen, will help you to keep the surrounding clean, and will provide you with delicious fruits.